And we're live. Thanks for joining us for this presentation. We have Rupert Steffner. He is the founder and CEO of Wonder.ai. He is a business intelligence expert with a specialization in consumer behavior marketing, and he's been in this field of marketing for a very long time, working for companies like Groupon. Rupert, it's a pleasure working with you again, and I'm always fascinated to hear what you have to say in the intersection of emotions and marketing.
Thanks for the nice introduction, Joaquin, and hi everybody here in the audience. So today I'm going to talk about marketing as AI system in the sense of how to architect and implement multi-purpose AI. So I've long worked in data management, business intelligence, and machine learning. In 2015, I joined the AI community, and about the same time, I started talking on the big stages like Strata and Hadoop about AI-fueled customer experience, how to defend shopping carts, retarget customers, about little army of real-time bots, and how to mimic customers' minds with cognitive real-time AI. So my company, Wunder, is a marketing AI company with the purpose to give marketing more soul. And we help brands and retailers with a new AI trained to match brands, content, and products with customers' emotional values. So why should you care about marketing as AI system? Well, there's a new reality in marketing, and it's a reality that bites. Gartner just reported that marketing budgets have been cut by 15% by last year. And in the same report, 62% of the CEOs say that the growth is the top priority for the coming year. So more or less, your CEO and board, they are expecting wonders from AI to achieve marketing efficiency gains. We have nice drawings here from McKinsey and others. This is from McKinsey from past year, saying that marketing in the broader sense, by including sales, product, and customer operations, counts among the top favorites where efficiency gains can be expected. They're talking about billions of dollars, but let's be aware that this has been said at the hype cycle for AI past year, where generative AI has been of the peak of expectations. So fortunately, they have been showing roads how to achieve efficiency gains by saying it's about efficient and effective content creation, SEO optimization, improved lead development, product discovery and search personalization, improved product testing, enhanced use of data, and finally about customer self-service and chatbots. But we should stop being too naive that this is all super easy now. I don't know if you heard about this last year's incident where a customer tricked a chatbot by selling him a car instead of $76,000 for just $1. And this incident started quite harmless with the customer engaging with a dealership chatbot. And the chatbot, in the best sense of customer is king, was programmed to be agreeable and affirming. So the customer cleverly manipulated the chatbot into agreeing that this was a legally binding agreement. And he was exploiting the vulnerability, not in the code, but in the very logic the AI interacted with him. So at the end, the chatbot accepted a ludicrous offer, selling an SUV for just $1. So if we are more critical, we should figure out that there are two fundamentally different ways to achieve marketing efficiency gains through AI. The one is, and let's call it the fast way, which is meanwhile established. The question is how AI can help marketing. So this is text-based. You need to understand linguistic, natural language processing, statistics, machine learning. And the way it's done, it's through Gen AI productivity tools. We all know text and content generation from ChatGPT, special purpose GPTs, but also multimodal AI with the image, video, and audio generators. But there's a second way, and this is the deep way, and this is new and promising. And the question is here, how AI will transform marketing. So it's marketing based, and you need these tech skills, but you also need to understand the resonate on marketing. So let's talk of this marketing as AI system. And this is for more complex tasks like customer experience, personalization, chatbots, customer self-service, and so on. This is strongly supported by AI trends towards functional AI. So if we look at this hype cycle with generative AI on top, Gartner this April said that by 2027, more than 50% of Gen AI models that are used by enterprises will be specific to either an industry, that means vertical AI, or business functional AI, up from just 1% in 2023. And also supporting, it's the overall evolution of AI. So if we look at the horizontal axis at the efficiency of resources in terms of reuse of data applications and intelligence, and at the vertical axis in terms of use case AI, functional vertical AI, and all-in-one AI, we see that we are doing single-purpose AI or machine learning since around 25 years. Now it's the age to start building multi-purpose AI or AI systems, but still there's a long way to artificial generic intelligence, AGI, super intelligence. There are many names for that. And generative AI has broke the desire for a more generic approach, and that's good here. But the way to AGI is still very far away. And so the next logical step is to develop multi-purpose AI, either as vertical or horizontal approach, what we do here with marketing AI. What are the obstacles and challenges to get there? So first is marketing is widespread. If you ask ChatGPT what are the 50 most important questions in marketing, you get the full width of marketing, starting with who is the target audience, how can they describe, what are the key points, how do your customers perceive brands, and so on, up to more strategic things and innovation and creativity. So we see marketing is not it's not a narrow field, but it's a pretty voluminous domain. The second challenge is that over the past 20 years of marketing automation, this has been built on single purpose, and this has led to Wild West data and applications, high redundancy, and all these things, and hard to manage and hard to realize real business benefits. And if we look at marketing as AI system, we should be aware that synthetic systems does not self-organize, but they have to be designed. A second thing, and even more important, is there's no mental model at the moment to design marketing as an AI system. And that's the question for today, how to build marketing as an AI system. For a starting point, it's good to remember the nature of marketing. Let's ask ChatGPT once again by asking what is the most elementary function of marketing in one sentence with variations. And you will find out that its most elementary function, marketing is about matching demand and supply. So as we talk of marketing AI, let's look and let's remember what's the ideal conditions for AI, or in other words, what marketing AI can learn from gaming AI. So we meanwhile knows that AI performs especially well when running in the system. Take this early success from Deep Blue as a chess master and ending up with AlphaGo, all the gaming AI things. This is the best condition because the iteration within the system leads to improvement and to learning. And we can define AI as a system of actors and playground because it's always the same. So when we build marketing as an AI system, let's take a look at this architecture views in terms of the business architecture, the functional architecture, and the tech architecture where we implement it. And it's good to use the major concepts to build a business architecture model. In our case, we take marketing AI and say, what's the nature of marketing? It's matching demand and supply. And what's the best conditions for AI? That it's a system of actors and playground. And then let's draw a nice visual to make a business architecture model by saying marketing AI is matching demand and supply as a system of actors and playground. So we have the demand side actors, the supply side actors on the right side, and the playground in the middle. And if we look at this, demand side actors are target groups and customers representing the demand, influencers who influence the demand, and brand content and products which are supplying the demand. The relationship of actors and playground is bidirectional. So in the case of requiring the data at build time, that means what the actors should include in the data to be matched. It's an inside-out approach. But at the moment of matching at runtime, it's an outside-in approach that your actors are matching in the playground. You can extend this model with further actors if needed, but these 6 are covering 80 to 90% of all marketing use cases. You can extend it with use cases and interaction channels, and it all works in the same model. You can also extend it with performance measurement by saying for your target groups, for example, what are tasks of segmenting targeting or strategic customer lifecycle in terms of acquisition, engagement, sales, retention, or the brand funnel from awareness to loyalty, or the sales funnel from inspiration to repurchase. As we're here in marketing, it's clever to adapt the naming for marketing. So the actors will be named digital twins, and the playground will be matching space. And by this, we have target group twins, customer twins, influencer twins, and all along here, brand content and products twins that are interacting in the matching space. Sometimes I even show graphics like this to demonstrate that these actors are living in stateful digital twins. That means their state is changing over time or sometimes even suddenly. When we define the matching space, it means we are defining our twins data set. So in other words, what are the data requirements, or which ontologies should we use to maximize the relevance of the matching here when these actors here interact? And sometimes you need to reinvent the matching space in the case your matching falls short of non-harmonized data sets. For example, the customer wants to be extravagant. This is something where she is aware of her emotional values, where retailers are offering multicolor skirts. That means retailers are acting on their product attributes, and this does not lead to matching. That could be serendipity or a lucky bunch, but normally this is failing. So this matching space is including customers' cognition and emotion. For example, the cognition around here with trends, interests, styles, and body, and the emotions in the middle. And in the final state, we could even say that we're mimicking human brain's architecture with the emotions in the middle and the cognition around. But let's be humble for today. So let's rely on emotions only, but emotions play a crucial role in customer decision-making anyway. So let's take emotions to define your twins data requirement. And for this, we apply an emotional ontology that is well organized from the middle and with the reasoning of the data points. And by this, we are defining how our emotional twins will become. That means they will get emotional target group twins, customer twins, and so on. When we're going to generate the data, this is then an outside-in approach. So on the left side, for the demand side twins, we can apply emotion quizzes to find out what customers really want. We can do sentiment analysis, or we can do behavior-based emotional customer profiling. And on the supply side, we can use AI tools. For example, one of the tools we have built, Emotion GPT, to emotionalize the brand, content, and product twins. This is a short look of what we do. For example, we have built Emotion GPT, which is an emotion data generator. That means an AI tool to generate emotional twins of brands, content, and products. And we take normal brand, content, or product data here. Then we apply a mix of AI to generate this emotional brand, content, or product twins. This mix here is generative AI, knowledge graph, data intelligence, digital twins. So it's going far beyond generative AI. And as a result, we get emotional brand, content, or product twins. And these emotional twins are quantified emotional profiles of brands, content, products. Here you see, for example, the emotional brand twin of Gucci as a fashion brand. So once we have defined the business architecture, we see that this is an assembly of data and applications, more or less. And now we can build the process view for the functional architecture. to bring in the application and data creation logic. So functional architecture for this, it turned out that an AI data-first approach is very helpful, because if you put intelligence in your data, then your runtime AI can be pretty lean. And data-centric AI is one of the major approaches coming up. We see it here in the Gartner lifecycle, data-centric AI, and this is very promising. So this is a systematically engineering the data used to build an AI system, and you can think it of programming with focus on data or to modify or improve AI models. This is a very strong stream that is coming up here. And the second is neurosymbolic AI. This is a form of composite AI, or let's call it hybrid AI, that combines machine learning methods, that means statistical patterns or attention mechanisms in LLMs, with symbolic systems, that means explicitly defined rules and knowledge, for example, knowledge graphs. And this is to create more robust and trustworthy AI models, and it's providing a reasoning infrastructure to solving more complex problems. So back to architecture, we see that we have different data building blocks with data-centric AI. We have the data integration, the generative AI, the neurosymbolic AI, and then we have the runtime AI with the applications. And let's put the processes in. So the first is about data integration. In a modern world, we have several sources. One is the prompts, others are feeds, that means uploading data, but naturally extending to the web when we do not find something in our own data with scrapers or agents. Then there's a block of generative AI. In the best case, this is agent-based, which is doing the initial prompt, the iterating of the prompter, the interaction with the memory and reasoning for index stores, it means vector stores, with the embeddings here. And then the output is going down to neurosymbolic AI with the data preparation, and then interacting with the knowledge graphs in terms of ontologies, but also graph objects, the twins. And then the runtime is very, very lean. We have the front and the app logic APIs and in-memory to make it happen. So with this already built, finally we can go to tech architecture. And this is a real-world example of how we implemented it. So it's all based on Kubernetes. Upon we built the security clusters, containers, auto-scaling, access controls, and so on. Then we built the microservices and components upon it with DAG for the styling, the streaming, APIs, storage, data stores, in-memory data stores, vector data stores, normal relational databases, machine learning, Jupyter TensorFlow Databricks, then LLMs and orchestration frameworks, and the programming language. And finally, let me show you the versatile power if you have put in marketing as AI system. This is how marketing is helping brands and retailers to overcome inefficiency and complexity. And I will show you some real-world cases, what we have done for our customers. So the first is behavior-based emotional customer profiling. We are enriching customer profiles by taking behavior data in terms of journey, sales, wish list data, and then matching with emotional brand, emotional product data, and then enriching the customer profile back with emotions this way. This has a huge advantage. We do not need extra servers, and we can do this profiling at scale. That means across the whole customer base. By this, we are contributing maybe the most meaningful data of customer profiles. This emotional and cognitive data, naturally, the profile contains behavior and transaction data with behaviors, purchase, demo, and technographics, all the stuff. And we can make nice visualizations of what are, for example, the emotional peaks of a specific customer. Second use case is psychographic segmentation. That means we build meaningful segments or target groups or personas, whoever you call them, on the emotions behind. As we have seen before, target groups are nothing more than less as an aggregate of customer profiles. So we can take these emotional customer profiles and doing the right clustering or other ways of segmentation. And we get out meaningful target groups that we visualize, make them explore in an interactive way, and much more. Next use case is emotion-driven content generation. That means you can generate prompts for image generators like DALL-E and Midjourney to create meaningful content. Again, here, either it's emotion of target groups or customers to create the content. And this is the actionable item. That means we generate the prompts and then feed DALL-E or Midjourney to generate those images. And this emotional meaning is always much more impact than a quite rational way of doing it. Then this super large case of unlimited targeting engagement campaigns, we can here target, make every combination. What we do, for example, taking specific target groups to make them more aware of the brands that match their emotions, or taking a bunch of customers to emotionally match with the right products and so on. As one output, we do campaign briefs. That means we are doing this overview, make samples of the messaging, describe the target audience, and so on. And if it's going more strategic, the system can serve as a growth explorer in a way of exploring growth opportunities, then by saying, which goal do I want to achieve here? Is it, for example, of engaging more customers to drive the sales, or is it here to improve the brand funnels to get customers their sympathy or meaning for a brand, or here for the sales funnel to get more consideration? And one way, what we have done for a customer, is building, for example, things like this, the matching space in the middle, showing here, this is the emotional demand of your compound target groups. This is what a brand can fill in with the emotions, and this is how the products are coherent to your emotional demand. And finally, you can even put a whole real-time application into your matching space. In this case, it's how we do emotional real-time personalization with the system that is taking the customers here and now, then doing the empathy by the functions of sense and infer. Then we build a real-time customer profile. We can merge it with the history in mind to include more the history of the customer. Then we decided act, and this system can learn. And the good thing is, for inferring emotions to build the mind, but also for deciding, it's always the same data. And we have built here an AI loop to use emotional twins with real-time AI processing in less than 50 milliseconds. So to come to the end, sum up the strategic advantage of marketing as AI system is you will innovate your data, you will make them AI ready, create more impact because it's meaningful, and the efficiency of the system. So with the system, you can do more with less. And if you're interested, let's have talks to take off with Wunder, either for consulting or AI tools. Thanks for your attention. Happy if you connect on LinkedIn.
Thank you very much, Rupert. So I want to just contextualize this in the business scenario. You already have an organization, and your two functions are marketing and fulfillment, right? You have to make a promise to the market. People pay you money to get your product or service, and then you're obligated to fulfill that to earn the money. Now, this solution that you're developing is meant to contextualize the engagement that you have with the public, right?
Yeah. Indeed, it is. It's a B2B2C approach. So we help companies to better understand the marketers or the customer, and do it in a way that's really efficient. So we normally start with building single use cases, but we are used to that we give our B2B clients this kind of system thinking of thinking marketing as an AI system, because by this they they recognize that it's really it's really very efficient to do it this way. And the next use case they want to tackle already has some of the data they have done with the first use case. So it's this reuse of data and say, okay, it's more or less it's all one system. And once you have built with this one use case, your twins, you can use them for maybe any other use case. So it's giving them the versatility for what they have done to use them in a multi-purpose way.
What are the current alternatives to provide this? You have to do like extensive market studies. You have to go and survey and have dialogues with the prospective customers, or what exists now?
What exists now is, I would say, single. So for some cases, these solutions do not exist yet. I think with emotional marketing, we are at the forefront of the market, really ahead of the market. Other use cases that can be done with the system exist as a single purpose use case, but we have many customers who are saying, okay, if I look at the overall cost, if I look at the total cost of this use case, with all the data space and machine learning capacities of what it all costs, then the business case is not really charming. So we help them in finding ways to really reorganize, harmonize, or restructure even current use cases, do it in a different way, or doing new ones. So most time we are starting with new ones, but the more we do with customers, the more they see that it makes sense to adopt existing single purpose cases into that thinking and system.
And this is something that you can integrate into all the different marketing channels and advertising channels that you have.
Yeah, so I would say in there, one point is that so what we deliver is we deliver either knowledge graphs, it means data frameworks to help customers structure the data, so structure the matching space, learning them to build emotional ontologies, or they are licensing our mind graph, our ontology here, or we are helping them to build or using AI data generators like Emotion GPT, either to integrate into the pipelines or to build a lean version, not a lean version of that, or we delivering data, those data twins. That's also, and then they can work with that for campaigning. So that's the final state that we say we are a data provider. We show them what they can do, and then they do it. So we are not a marketing automation company. We are delivering more the data and the prerequisites and the thinking what they can do, because there are so many marketing automation systems in place. The world does not need another one, but the world needs better data to be more effective with what they do, either campaigning or other things.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, brand. I could see this being used with brand management. People that are going to market, that they need to get signals from what's working and what's not working, so that they can double down and allocate their marketing spend accordingly. Um, it's really interesting that you're using this knowledge graph approach, and you're using graph neural networks.
Yeah. Mhm.
What is the advantage of using graph neural networks with knowledge graphs in this scenario?
I think it's much more easier, because I think the graphs have so many advantages. They have clarity. If you work with synonyms, then there is reasoning. There's more or less reasoning into the graphs. So I think one of the corner points of solve reasoning is applying the reasoning within the graphs, because here we have the structures. For example, we have these levels of emotions where the outer nodes lead to the inner ones, and this is in other words, that's a causal reasoning, which emotions leads to which higher level emotions. and using graph neural networks really helps this way.
With pattern recognition and understanding.
Yeah, and filling missing nodes with data. So we have developed clever algorithms, because when you shoot data, either, I don't know, prompting or vector databases, parsing, whatever, then you have sparse data sets. And one of the things is how do you fill your missing data, or how you fill up your missing data. And by this, graph neural networks help a lot to give them a consistent approach and a very robust approach on that. So graphs should be, in other words, graphs should be populated even if they have low values. So if you have too many graphs with sparse data, it doesn't work.
Well, the beautiful thing about your approach also, that it's a functional approach in the marketing domain, is that you can work backwards to develop an internal knowledge graph within the company once you develop the profile, right? So it's an evolutionary architecture pattern too.
That's absolutely correct. And we start talking with customers on their business problem. For example, if one of the last case has been, we want to do psychographic segmentation, and then we go back and say, okay, your segments, you have to include the data in your customer profiles, because otherwise we cannot bring the right data or meaningful data to the segments. And then you work back to the customer profile and say, okay, where does the data from the customer profile come from? And then you work back and say, okay, let's make this behavior-based customer profiling approach of saying which products and brands do you like, to take this emotion from there and put it on the customer. So most time we are working back, or another customer intended to have more activities in the mid and upper funnel, saying we have enough data for existing customers, but we do not know how to stimulate them. And then we are working up the funnel. You have seen it in the performance measurement things, for example, working up the funnel. Okay, what are the ontologies? What is the data that can stimulate the customers? It's almost every time emotions are included, but it can be naturally, if it's a fashion retailer, this can be style-based data or trends and so on. So it's and then we see, okay, we have emotions as one ontology, but we also have styles as a cognitive ontologies and trends as a cognitive ontology. But as we know already how this plays together with emotions, it's easy to implement.
I appreciate the scientific approach and having measurable results, especially in the development of these marketing trends where people are trying to be leaner and leaner and have smaller budgets. You have to be able to track your efforts and measure the ROI in each campaign.
Yeah.
But Rupert, it's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. And yeah, well, if you need help from Rupert, please reach out to him via LinkedIn. He's a really friendly guy and help you out.
Thanks, Joaquin, for the nice words. Yeah, invite you to contact me and connect on LinkedIn.